One thing. We're all angels.
Okay, if we're ready, we're gonna start. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of 1 Million Cups. My name is Alejandra Jimenez, and I will be hosting today's presentation. First, I'm going to talk a few minutes about 1 Million Cups and its mission. The second thing will be the actual 6-minute presentation given to us by our special guest, and the third will cover a Q&A for our audience, and then shortly we'll wrap up after that. 1 Million Cups is created by the Kauffman Foundation. The purpose of the foundation works alongside educators, researchers, and other partners to better understand and improve the environment in which entrepreneurs start and grow businesses. In the beginning, 1 Million Cups started off small in Kansas City and now has grown to 131 communities. 1 Million Cups is a free weekly program to educate, engage, and connect local entrepreneurs. It's an environment where you are able to get and have different conversations with different entrepreneurs. The overall mission behind 1 Million Cups is, again, to not only lower the barrier to access to education and resources for all entrepreneurs, but to be surrounded by a community and an environment that helps you build ideas and give feedback for your business. Moving forward, at each location, there are presentations each week. Today, our presenter is Tia Saunders with the Daygo Hustlerz Network. They will have 6 minutes to present and then a 15-20 minute of Q&A. If you want to know more about 1 Million Cups or how to present here, please feel free to join our amazing online community and visit our platform at www.1millioncups.com/Chico. I am going to now present Tia's slide. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen really quick so I can get on there. Okay, and I'm going to share my screen one more time. Good job.
Yeah, much smoother than I am.
After this morning, I got all right, yeah.
Nice. We've got a problem.
Okay,
No.
are you ready?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hello. So, okay, I gotta speak kind of loud. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Tia Saunders, and I'm the CEO of the Daygo Hustlerz Network, also known as the Hustlerz Network. And our motto is create, network, and build community. And then here's our logo right here. You see Daygo Hustlerz Network because I started in San Diego, where I was born and raised, where I saw the problem. And then the dragonfly actually is incorporated from Chico, because as I moved around and then finally got here, I realized that this was going to be where I was going to really grow my business. And so I saw dragonflies, and so I wanted to incorporate that into my logo.
That's cool.
So the problem that I saw when starting my first business and then having others ask me questions was that there was a lack of support and guidance for young entrepreneurs and inspiring creatives. I also saw that there was a feeling of thinking that there was no one with a similar age or going through a similar path, trying to be successful, doing their own thing, starting their own business, or being in the creative field. And then lastly, I saw that there was a lack of spaces where young entrepreneurs could feel free to create and build on their ideas. So my solution, or our solution, was that we could bridge the gap between entrepreneurs and the vital resources that they needed, foster dynamic networks and relationships between other young entrepreneurs and creatives with the ones who are trying to start, and then also steer young entrepreneurs into economic empowerment and innovation in their own communities. So some of the services that we are planning to provide is business consulting, which would include providing strategic and just different ways to guide them and help them to build upon their businesses and the challenges that they will face. And then we have networking and community building, where we would facilitate different networking events and things like that with some successful older business owners, some other young successful business owners and creatives, and then bring in those who are joining our network to also be a part of that. And then lastly, marketing and branding, which I already work with other young business owners in San Diego who are planning to join me and do this with me, K&D Studios, as well as Dog Trash Media, to develop strategies to interact and help brand visibility. So my service pricing model, I'm thinking of doing a project-based pricing and subscription-based model for the main two ones. The project-based pricing will be more for branding and all the physical needs of the startups, because our goal is to really get the young entrepreneurs to get off of the ground and just help them start. And then our subscription-based model will be for our marketing, networking, and business consulting events and different things like that. And then lastly, for anybody who just wants to get to know the Daygo Hustlers community, they can join us in our philanthropy, because me as a CEO, I just like to do things and give back. So for example, last year in San Diego, we did a toy drive, as well as we gave blankets and other hygiene products to the homeless, just as a part of something that we do with 100% donations from the San Diego community. And then we also have merchandise. So if you just want to rep the network and show your support, then you can also do that. And then this is our contact information, the business number, our business email, and then our main website right now, where we're building our network and our community, is on Instagram at _Daygo Hustlers Network. Yeah. Oh, any questions?
Oh, okay. You have to 6 minutes, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
We're never having.
Did you opportunity to sit in on one of the first CFE speakers I had? Her name's Ayana McMullen.
I don't think so.
Okay, so I need to connect you with her. So she's one of my besties. She's out of Richmond, Virginia. She runs something exactly like what you're trying to do. And it's called the Network Incubator.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it's something a model I want to replicate. I just have everybody's looking at me like
Yeah.
zero bandwidth, right? But I don't see any reason why you couldn't be doing it. Like, and it's almost exactly what you're saying you want to do. Like, and I'm not trying to jump in on what you say you're gonna do. Like, there's more questions I have, but it's like I was listening to you, I'm like, oh my God, it sounds like she wants to do what Ayana is doing. Would that be fair? Yeah, because you know Ayana, right? But before I take over, let's open the floor for other questions, because I'll just like blah, blah.
Well, first of all, thank you. Nicely done to Miss Tia. I'm going to, if we're ready for any questions that anyone may have. If not, did we want to start in the room? Oh, go Kat.
Okay, yeah, I raised my hand there, so I wanted to be polite. So are you going to do what kind of online stuff are you planning to do for people, if any, websites, social media, that kind of thing?
Online stuff as in like
blogging or YouTubing or Instagram. I guess you're Instagram, more of an Instagram.
Yeah. Right now we do a podcast where I bring on like young entrepreneurs who I have within my own network, and we talk about their different struggles and things like that, just so that people who want to join can kind of understand like what we're about, and like show that we do have a network of they can see that there is other people doing what they want to do. So as far as that, we do the podcast, like I said, that's mainly what we have right now for online things.
Yeah, I listen to Spotify all the time. I don't know how hard it is to get on there, but I guess there's other ways of doing it. I guess you can do it through WordPress.
You upload your stuff to YouTube now?
No, I do want to start streaming it on other platforms, but as of right now, I do it strictly on Instagram, and it's kind of like a video podcast, so you can see us and we can,
Those are popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to be able to create a network of people that know that they can leverage your resources, which is awesome. I'm going to kind of piggyback off what I think he's also trying to ask, which is like, what other opportunities are you going to be creating for those people to gather?
Oh, okay.
Does that sound like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That will fall more under our networking and community building. And actually in December, me and KD Studios, we're planning on doing a networking event in San Diego where we basically just have probably about 50 young entrepreneurs who are just trying to get into it, mixed with probably about 10 entrepreneurs who have already started. And it's gonna be like a networking event, mingling, have different keynote speakers there from people who are in bigger businesses. Yeah, so I think that's something that people can gain out of it. And then like they could be on Zoom and be there as well. But yeah, just doing different events to bring people together and give them space to collaborate and actually talk with other people within their age group as well as people older.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when do you graduate?
I graduate either fall 2024 or spring 25.
Okay, so you'll be back to Chico after the holiday break.
Yes.
Okay, you're going back down south, sounds like, for the holiday break, so you're gonna be doing that in San Diego. Okay, so where do you host these kind of gatherings? Are you doing, are you leveraging CEO Club to do that? Or are you hosting your own, like Hustlers Club stuff outside of that up here yet?
Yeah, no, it will be outside of CEO. I haven't even thought of that, doing that, asking them for that help. But me and the person, my partner, we just wrote up like a business proposal type thing. And we just went to other people that we knew already and got a space to do it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, you know, I am a nonprofit, you can leverage my space.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm thinking like, we already do all this kind of, I mean, like, and we have a ton of resources you guys can just be leveraging. So, that's something we can explore this. Yeah, I mean, we have other people who pay, or our members or whatever, right, or student groups, that come in and use the space. We even have the local newspaper come in and use the space for their staff meetings. So, there's lots of different ways to play this. If you want to do some stuff locally.
Yeah, I definitely want to start doing some things locally in Chico. I was planning on doing a community thing, like giving back to the transients out here during the winter time before we leave for break. But I would love to start doing networking events out here as well.
Yeah, and there's other people that are starting to do podcasts around local entrepreneurs, but it's like up and down the spectrum, right? So I guess I don't know. Anybody else got questions? Otherwise, I can talk about this all day.
I did, but I can
Go.
Well, I wanted you to speak a little bit more about what got you into this. What really started, like, the spark that made you want to as well.
What started it was that before this, I had another business called TS Trees LLC, and I started that during COVID, but I also had a lot of help from my dad. And then once I started that and my friends and family around me noticed that like it was doing okay or doing decent, they were asking me about how I did it and what they could do. How did they start an LLC? Like just different things to do within their business. And I realized that they didn't have anybody to help them, but their ideas were just as valid. So I was like, dang, there's a lot of people who need this type of help or guidance, and they're not going to listen or maybe have the access to older people.
Right.
And so I was like, it would be cool to have younger people who they feel more comfortable going to get that advice and things.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And I might have missed it, but did you have like mentorship in your list there of services?
Yes.
That might be, okay, you did.
Yeah. Matt? Yell at that.
Sorry, I was on mute. Great presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
One question and then one kind of, I guess, one idea. But the question first was, who exactly is your target market? Are you focused more locally, or are you looking at a broader spectrum?
Originally, I was focused locally in San Diego, but then as I moved, I realized it's a problem that could be solved everywhere. So my target audience now is, I'm thinking between like 18 to 30-year-olds, people who want to start up a business or who are creatives who want to kind of do their own thing and start like, doing their own business. So 18 to 30, broadly, wherever.
And is there a reason why you're not on LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn, but not under the Daygo Hustlers. I'm just
Okay.
under my name.
Okay.
Yeah. I just started it. I'm trying to get into it.
Yeah, that's good to know.
And then the other, I guess, idea I just kind of wanted to throw out there. I know you're talking about networking events. I've been to quite a few now, and they all seem to be the same. They kind of, you throw 100 people into a room and hope they all interact together. And for those that are outgoing, no problem. But there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there who are still introverts. And I notice a lot of them end up standing by the wayside, sitting by the wayside. And they're not getting the most out of their networking events that they could be. So I don't know, just one idea. If you want to like possibly specialize in your networking events, make them kind of like a business speed dating type thing where you're forcing smaller groups together and letting everybody pitch their ideas rather than hoping 100, 200, 300 people in a room end up all talking to each other, because what'll happen is what I see every time is the more vocal outgoing individuals all end up grouping together, talking together, and then there is a large group of people who just end up by the wayside. So I don't know, again, just an idea.
I appreciate that idea. That sounds definitely like something I would implement into those events.
Good suggestions.
Just some quick feedback. I do really like your slogan, create network, build, and community. It really says like what you're doing, like in 3 small words. And then just your slides for the future, I'd use less words.
Okay.
I feel like you're a good speaker, like maybe just a few key points and then just go off the top of your head. A question I have is, hold on. Oh, how long has this been going on for? Like how long?
I started it in 2021, but I started in 2021, but more recently I've started to kind of gear it towards what I really wanted to be, and I started to understand what I wanted it to be.
So it started as something different?
Yeah, it started more as like I was just providing like photography and custom clothing for different brands and clubs at my schools and stuff like that to help those businesses. But I realized that I could be doing more with it, and I was more into a different part of it than that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then what was Tia Tree?
Oh, TS Trees LLC was, it was like a cannabis advocacy group. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
So yeah, that's what that was.
Cool.
Okay, anybody else got questions?
So we get to see a lot of insight from already successful business people.
Mhm.
I want to see if the lens from the student perspective. How has it been starting up your own business while having it?
It's actually been interesting, and I think it was more interesting because I started it like during COVID when school was out, and so when I started going back to school and things like that, and I played basketball at JUCO before this, so that was a lot as well. I think I just kind of had to. I started reading more books about it, and then I kind of had to learn like that as much time as I put into sports or school, I have to also set time aside to do my brand and be consistent with it. And so it's a lot, but at the end of the day, I know what my end goal is, and I know the only way to get there is to do it. And so like sometimes I sacrifice more sleep, or sometimes I don't want to do it and I just do it. Yeah, I think the main way I get through it is just realizing that like I have to, like I have no other choice. So just do it.
Discipline.
Yeah. Discipline and consistency.
I think it helps when people have a sports background and are used to that, like, that you have to like, there's certain things you've got to do to get to where you need to be, right? And they already can see that. I think sports actually helps a lot personally. Go ahead.
I was curious, we haven't talked about funding or money or anything like that.
Mhm.
How do you fund, like, say you're talking about the event San Diego, how is that funded?
So that one is gonna be funded just based off of our business proposal and us just asking everybody for like sponsorships basically, and like partnering with us, get your logo on there and stuff like that.
Okay. Is that the first time that you've done one of these bigger ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, this is gonna be the first time.
Scary, huh?
Yeah, it's interesting. And it's a lot of background work that I didn't realize.
Did you go to Growtech Fest?
No,
Oh,
Yeah.
Bummer.
If you need any pointers, let me know.
Definitely,
Bro.
definitely will. And then also just for all the other side things that I do, I just sell my merch as like a way to back it for now to
Nice.
do what I have to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I got side hustle, side hustle.
That is smart.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you plan to provide these services yourself, or do you want to have a team in the future?
I definitely want to have a team in the future when I can be able to give them something for their work. But as for right now, like, I guess we just don't have enough capital coming in. So it's me, I just do it. And then the people who I partner with, since they have their own businesses, like they also feel more willing to help and join me because it also brings them clients and customers. So, but I do want a team.
And you're an LLC right now, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you might in the future look to be a nonprofit.
Nonprofit.
Yeah, so that's kind of like what we do, right? Do you know what Chico Start does?
No, but then when Alex told me, I was like, dang.
Yeah, because the Chico Start helps companies start, grow, and thrive.
Mhm.
That's our whole focus in life. But what you're identifying is very, very, it's very, very obvious in lots of underserved minority populations, right? And there's grants for that. Like, we have grants to go work with the tribal community, go work with the Spanish community, like, I mean, because they're 30% of the population and, nobody's serving them, right? So what you're identifying is that there's real holes, right, in your communities, whether they be a big town or not, right? Chico, same thing, right? So, like, anything we can do to help you, because we got a ton of resources. Like, if you go to our website, we got a ton of resources. We even have but there have been things I've been gathering over the last 5-6 years, right? We didn't start out that way, right?
COVID helped.
Huh?
COVID helped. If you
Yeah,
want to put it that way.
So, we can talk, I don't want to take time away from other people who might have questions, but we can talk more about this because this is what we're here for. We're here to help support even smaller groups that are focused on just their community. We're here to support everybody. So we can talk more about that. So anybody got some more questions?
Anyone on Zoom?
I would also just echo what Ivan said. You're a good speaker, so probably less text, right?
A little small.
And the question I think Ally asked about what was the catalyst for, right? Make sure that because storytelling is a new execution, like storytelling is part of what brings people into your fold, right? And so you as an entrepreneur identified a problem and are trying to put together a solution, right? So that's the whole problem solution mindset thing. I could go on and on, but that incorporating that into your story explains to people your why. Okay. There's something else I was gonna say. Yeah, I need to put together with Ayana. So to Matt's point about introverts, so what she does, as part of her networking incubator, weekly. Anybody who wants help, come on in. Don't matter how old you are, don't matter nothing, just come on in. And she breaks them into groups of 4 with and sometimes she'll call me and say, hey, I'm down to coach. Can you call in? I'm like, at 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m. And then, but most times it's in person, right? And so it'd be like hypothetically, like say we all come in because you're having an event, right? Or a weekly thing where people get together. And say there's 8 of us in here, he breaks them into 2 groups of 4, right? And then everybody talks about their business, like idea or problem or a wall they've hit, right? And then they scrum or they work on it together, and then do that for 20 minutes in a concentrated manner, and then everybody comes back and reports. And if somebody's in another group talking about she normally has about 10 groups, right? That's how big it's grown, but she's been doing this for 8 years, right? So and then they all come back and report. And then if somebody in that group's got this problem, then they get together and they go, it's all about continuing to kind of multiply that community. Yes, it's not complicated, but making it happen can. Right. Anyway.
I have 2 more questions. Who did you say what were the businesses you said you were currently working with? I think you listed 2.
Yeah, K&D Studios. She does marketing and branding and a lot of online marketing stuff. And then Dog Trash Media, which he actually did my logo, and he does most of my artwork. He's a really good designer, and he does digital digital logos and different things like that, animations. So,
And how is that going? Working with those two right now? Are you learning a lot? Are you providing a lot for them or?
I'm learning a lot, and yeah, like I've so far since I brought the idea to Dog Trash, we've actually had somebody from up here ask him to make them a logo. So I was like, that's exciting. That's cool.
Definitely.
And yeah, and I think it's really cool because those are other people. K&D Studios, I've known her since we were in elementary school. And then Dog Trash, I met him because he's actually a graffiti artist in San Diego.
Mhm.
So I think it's cool to bring everybody up. So, yeah.
Where do you see yourself in a couple of years? What's your major? I didn't get that.
Mhm.
And what's your specialty? Like, what's your either specialty or what do you want to do within this? Like,
Okay.
like if you had a team, you know,
Right.
I mean, you're the CEO, but yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a psych major. And so I'd say in 5 years, I'll say 6, just to get a little room for grace. In 6 years, I plan on being a MFT actually.
Cool.
And then I just kind of facilitate with this and just I'll be there, I'll be present because I'm gonna have my own practice. And so I'll be there and I'll just be there facilitating, kind of helping my team out with whatever they need from like an overhead point of view. And yeah, so I think I just see myself being like a true CEO, just being there, being able to help when needed, but kind of letting it grow. Yeah. And then doing my therapy on site.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, that's exactly what she does. There's another business that she helps facilitate, right?
Nice.
Any more questions from the audience?
Yeah, did you say something, Kent? Because you're on mute. Or are you just talking?
No, I just said I'm good.
Oh, okay. I can't read.
Darren hasn't said anything. We demand him to talk.
All right, and if we're no more questions in here?
No,
All right. Again, my name is Alejandra Jimenez, and I have been your host and organizer. I'd like to thank Eva Shepherd, our chapter lead. Second, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Chico Start, Grow Tech, Global Entrepreneurship Network, T-Bar, Build.com, Startup Brand Up, NorCal SBDC for supporting 1 Million Cups. And just a few of the events that will be happening today is Open Grants, Build Your Board, How to Prepare Your Company for Lasting Growth at 12 p.m. And the Butte Grow Manufacturing Expo will be happening Wednesday next week from 10 to 3. And you can find this all on our Chico Start website. As always, I'd like to thank our audience for joining in today's meeting. Last but not least, before everyone takes off, if you want to receive more updates and info about 1 Million Cups, other business resources, business workshops, or other events, please feel free to leave your email in the chat or in the sign-in sheet or scan our QR code and we will share with you our Chico Start newsletter. The newsletter, it's being covered, but anyone wanting?
there.
There you are.
Okay.
If anyone wants to see that, I'll give you a few seconds to scan it. All right. And lastly, I would like to thank audience again for showing up. And I'd like to leave you guys with this quote. Success is not what you have, but who you are by Mr. Bill Bennett. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great day, guys.
The open grants thing was yesterday, and I wanted to participate, but I had some stuff come up. And do they have a replay for that you guys know about? Or?
He usually does, and
Yeah.
he'll post it on social media or it'll be on the Open Grants site.
Okay, I'll go.